Hello.
Hello again. We are back on the boat this weekend, but we've not been anywhere, have we?
No.
The simple reason is the weather has been rubbish.
Yeah, rubbish. Not good.
It absolutely threw it down with rain yesterday and today. You might be able to pick it up, I don't know, but it is blowing a gale. So we've had a weekend just pottering around and
Getting a few jobs done.
Yeah. So what have we been doing? TV bracket.
Yeah, TV bracket. We've got the TV on the wall, finally, on its nice little wooden patras, and got the socket moved up behind it.
Yeah, it just moves the TV away from the doors, doesn't it?
It gives us a bit more floor space, so that's good. Yeah,
that's a good job done. You've been touching up a few rust spots and
bit of painting.
Bit of painting today, yeah. We had a look at the Houdini hatch.
Yeah.
That still needs
finishing off.
Doing, yeah.
From when the boat was built 12 years ago.
Yeah. So we've not done anything. We've just been kind of looking at it, kind of planning what to do. Oh, you fitted a door bar between the corridor and the bathroom. That was just a little finishing off job. But we also removed the bathroom door.
Yes. Just because it needs revarnishing, and it's probably easier to do it laid down than it is stood up in a very narrow space. So yeah, so that's what we've been doing, but we also thought, because we're not going anywhere, that this was a good opportunity to do a Q&A video. We asked you a few weeks ago if there were any questions that you wanted us to answer, then let us know. So thank you for any questions that you've left us, and shall we hopefully we've got some answers.
Yeah, well, make a start.
Yeah.
Okay, so first question, and this is a question that we get asked quite a lot by friends, family, just people in general, but Shane Hefferman asks, are you going to live full time on your narrowboat? And also Mick on Facebook recently asked, he wonders if we're going to become liverboards.
Not at the moment, no, maybe one day.
Yeah.
But while we've still got other commitments and work and things like that, it's not really practical.
Yeah, I mean, most people probably know is that we've got a teenage son.
Yeah.
Who lives with us at home, and while he's still living with us, it's just not practical.
No.
However, he's coming up to an age where his next step will either be uni or something. So that means that whilst we're not going to be full-time liverboards,
we'll be able to spend a lot more time down here.
So it's not full-time, part-time liverboards.
Probably. Yeah.
And then we've also kind of looked at the idea of getting a bigger boat.
Yeah.
So that we could become...
One day, not just yet.
Yeah,
I've got to finish this one first.
Yeah, sorry. So that we could become full-time liverboards. It is something we would like to do. Just looking at the options of, we had a look at Dutch barges, things like that, which would give us 2 permanent fixed cabins, which would mean that there would be somewhere for our son to have a base if he did go away to uni. But we don't know at the moment, so for the next year definitely this is what it is. Next question is from Mark Haggerty. This one you can answer.
Okay.
So he asks, when we're out on the cut, do we get an internet connection or do we rely on free Wi-Fi?
Internet connection. Yeah. Little MiFi box, refurbished, bought from eBay, unlocked for about 35 quid. Being the Yorkshireman, you can guarantee I got the best bargain on this one. And we put a three networks 12 gigabyte data only SIM card in there, which costs £30 and lasts for up to 12 months from activation, and they generally, you know, since we've had the boat a year, we've only put one in, so yeah, it's reasonably economical. Probably doesn't quite do all the data that our son would like, but
yeah, that's another reason for us not living on board.
Being a bit of computer mad, he uses an awful lot of data, and it would be very expensive using this method.
Yeah.
But now it works quite well.
Yeah.
With no external aerials for it. You know, if you read online, there's all sorts of people talking about using external aerials. I've never actually found that we've needed one, to be honest. It works quite well. Where we are on the mooring here, we get 4G internet. It's faster than the internet we get at home. So yeah, there we go. So about 35 quid, recharges from USB, and then your data on top of that.
Yeah. We've also got data on our mobiles as well.
Yeah.
So if we want to just check the weather or something quickly, we can use those mobiles as well for that. But, yeah. Next question is from Goldfinger. He wants to know, do we need any kind of training certification before being allowed to use a boat?
Good question.
No.
Is the answer.
You don't need any. That's kind of the quick and easy answer, isn't it? There are training courses you can do. Yeah.
RYA courses for helmsmanship on inland waterways. I mean, we never really felt the need to do one, to be honest. With hiring before, we've had a little bit of coaching and training while we've been doing that, and with a bit of common sense, and you know, it's down to the individual, I suppose. If you feel that you need to know a bit more about you book on training course, but if you're reasonably practical, you know, it's not too difficult generally. But it's not things to be aware of, but not a requirement.
Not a requirement, yeah.
And actually, some of the higher companies, you do get an RYA certificate as part of your sort of induction training. Is it bareboating at least?
That we saw
Bridge
that do
recently,
that. They will do it. Although not all hire companies do that. We've come across hirers who have been just given a DVD to watch and then sent on the way. So that's something, if you are hiring, it's something worth
we've also had it when we've hired once before, that the guy gave us about 10 minutes and hopped off, didn't he? He just disappeared with his backpack at the nearest bridge, and that was it. But
so different hiring companies will offer different levels of training to first time boaters before you take their boats out. And Goldfinger also wants to know, he wants if we could do a breakdown of associated costs with boating. So it's quite an in-depth thing, this, and we will do a full video of it. We'll look at things like license fees, insurance, mooring costs. It's probably, as I say, it's probably a video on its own, this one.
And that'll be from a leisure boater's perspective rather than liveaboard, because they obviously are quite different.
So yeah, we will do that, but as I say, that's something
that's for future.
It deserves its own video, I think. Right, this is probably associated with the last video that we did while we were away for the weekend, and we were in the kitchen galley doing a bit of cooking. Yeah. Or putting frozen pizzas in the oven.
Yeah, well.
The Dugbo wants to know, do we have a full set of kitchen gear for both the house and the boat, or do we bring stuff back and forth?
We generally have a full set for both. Yeah. Before we got the boat, we used to have a caravan for 11 years, so kind of a lot of the stuff that we had in there has ended up over here.
Yeah. And that gave us the experience of knowing what we kind of use away from home. I mean, obviously it's not a full set of kitchen equipment. We don't have things like a bread machine that we would use at home and things like that, but it's everything that we need. I mean, the other thing is as well,
we could bring them along and use them, couldn't we? Yeah.
Well, yeah, we could, but
we just don't have a need, really.
No, when we're on the boat, it's kind of leisure time, so we don't spend a lot of time doing fancy cooking or anything. It's pretty, you know, curries, pasta dishes, that kind of thing. And plus, I'm vegetarian and you're not, so we don't do roast dinners or anything like that. So.
Oh dear.
Sorry.
Very often.
So anyway, we'll move on from that. But yeah, we've got everything we need. We don't generally bring anything from home.
No, we don't. No.
Right then, here we go. This is an interesting one. Ooh. Well, the answer might be of interest. There's a few associated questions here, so I'll run through them all and then we can answer it.
Right, go on then.
So John Buckley, he asks, did we decide on Mercia Marina in the end? Okay. And then Steve Capper goes on to say, do you ever get bored with going to Leeds, and didn't you go looking at other marinas with the purpose of going to other places? So the answers, the quick answers are probably yes, yes and yes. Yes, we did decide on Mercia Marina.
Yeah.
Yes, it can get a little bit repetitive going to
Leeds, the same places all the time, yeah.
And yes, we did go looking at other marinas with a view to going elsewhere.
Yeah.
So yes, however,
change of plan.
Big change of plan.
Yeah.
We're not actually going to be moving the boat.
Not this year.
No. We did decide on Mercia Marina as our chosen marina.
Yeah.
We looked at, as you know from the Marina Hunt vlog, we looked at several different marinas and we felt that Mercia was the one that was best suited to our needs.
Yeah, best location.
Yeah.
For both travel from home to the boat
and for the areas.
And the area that you could get to from the marina.
Yeah. So yes, we did.
And for services on site, for facilities.
Yeah,
it was
brilliant.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So yes, we did decide on Mercia Marina. Yes, we do sometimes get a little bit fed up with, I think, the trips.
It's not so much the places, it's the getting there, because of the big river sections that we have to do down here. You know, they are different, but because of the size and width, sometimes when when you've 2 or 3 hours on a river, there's nowhere to stop. You can't just moor up and get off because there's just nothing.
It's a bit monotonous,
you know.
isn't it?
Very pretty in places, but a bit monotonous. So that's the only thing against that. But you pass some nice places on the way there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Leeds is a good place to visit for a weekend.
Yeah.
You know, there's
you can't get better than the Granary Wharf for bars, restaurants, you know.
That kind of thing. Yeah. And yes, we did
pizza.
Go. And beer.
Oh yeah, that.
And yes, we did go looking at other marinas with the purpose of moving to other places. So the reason why we've decided to stay put is we went back to have a look at Mercia, and then we had to do real kind of thinking about what we were going to do. And it was then that we realised that once we'd moved the boat, which was going to take us most
2
of our,
weeks probably to get there.
Yeah, which was kind of most of our summer holiday leave. We realised that we probably wouldn't be moving the boat back up to Yorkshire for a very long time, if ever. And we've not fully explored it yet. There are still places we'd like to go. We've not done South Yorkshire navigations. We've not done the Huddersfield Broad and Narrows, Stanage Tunnel, all
those bits and pieces. Yeah.
So we just felt by staying here for another year, we would get to fully explore these waterways. So.
And actually, our mooring costs here are quite reasonable.
Well, the half of what we would have been paying.
Yeah. So that's why.
Spoken like a true Yorkshireman.
Well, yeah.
And that leads us to our last question, which is from the Dugbo again. Any teasers or full-out plans on the next big trip? So, as we're not now moving the boat, what's the next big trip, Tori? Right, so next month we're gonna head to the South Yorkshire navigations. We've not been to South Yorkshire yet.
No.
So it'll mean a trip on the Aire and Calder down onto New Junction Canal. Then we're gonna head down towards Doncaster, explore that area. There's some, I think there's some River Don down there, and head down that way, and then also taking the Stainforth and Keighley Canal.
Yeah.
So as I say, we've not been to that area at all, so that should be interesting.
Should be, yeah.
Then later in the summer, we're going to head in the other direction.
Yeah.
And we're going to go onto the Calder and Hebble, and then go up onto the Rochdale, go up to Hebden Bridge.
Yeah.
That should be an interesting trip. We have actually done that before. Some interesting things to see on that one.
Yeah. It was. We did it last year before you guys joined us. So
it was good.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, we will be going. If we do that trip, we'll be going through Tool Lane Lock, which is the deepest lock in England.
Yeah, we'll be using the old hand spikes to operate the locks, which is something a little bit different.
Yeah, and
hopefully we won't bend any windlasses this time like we did last time, because the lock gear was so stiff, but we've got bigger windlasses now. Yeah, and
some of those locks are quite tight, aren't they? Oh, guillotine locks.
Guillotine lock.
Yeah, there's a guillotine lock.
Very tight 57-ish foot locks that are very tight with a 57-foot boat.
And then we'll be going into Hebden Bridge, which is a really nice town. It's a kind of arty, hippie kind of vibe to it, which is great for me. Being a
big boating community up there.
Being an artist with a heart of a hippie. So yeah, that's something to look forward to. And then coming back, if we've got time, maybe
we might nip in towards Huddersfield.
Do the Huddersfield Broad, Narrow.
Just have a go down there and see what's happening.
Yeah, so they're the next big trips.
Yeah.
And hopefully you'll join us on them.
Yeah.
So that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this Q&A session, and that we've answered all your questions thoroughly. And just want to say thank you to our very first patron over on Patreon. You know who you are.
Yeah.
Big thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, much appreciated, and welcome to the crew. So that's all there is for today.
Yeah.
Hope you've enjoyed the video. Once again, if you've enjoyed it, we'd appreciate a big thumbs up, and with your painty thumb.
Yeah, painty thumb.
And if you've not already done so, please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos, and we'll catch up with you soon. Thanks for watching.
Thank you very much. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.